If you look at essentially people that are incarcerated for a day or less, and you compare it to people that are incarcerated for 2 days or more, you see pretty substantial increases based on the research in the likelihood that they are going to commit a new crime while they're on pretrial release, and that they're going to have longer-term recidivism issues. So just to give you a couple numbers to go with this, compared to people who are in a day or less, those that are in 2 to 3 days have a 39% higher likelihood of new criminal activity. You get up to 15 to 30 days, and it's a 57% higher likelihood of committing new crime while they're out on pretrial release. That's exactly the opposite of what we want from a public safety perspective, right? We don't want them committing new crimes while they're out on pretrial release. So that initial detention period can actually exacerbate the problem rather than helping the problem. We look at longer-term recidivism, a 2-year follow-up period. 2 to 3 days can be about a 17% increase in recidivism, and when we get to 8 days plus, it's about 50%. So it's not small increases that we're seeing based on the research, but this is primarily focused on low and moderate risk participants. So if you don't know the risk level, the higher risk defendants, we don't see as much of a connection between that pretrial detention and both the short and long-term impacts. But for the low and moderate risk, we do see that impact. So if we don't even know what the risk level is, then it's really hard to address that and make sure that we're not actually adding to the problem both in the short and the long term.